What's up, Saints?
I'm Hyatt.
And I'm Jacob.
And this is SFHS Today. In national news, 411 buildings owned by the city of Chicago have all fully switched to renewable energy. The buildings receive power from a solar energy farm, which allows them to reduce carbon emissions by 290,000 metric tons, which is also the same as taking 62,000 vehicles off the road.
Now, while I'm sure you've noticed, the city of St. Francis has dedicated the last couple months to building a new fire station. Well, hold on to your seats because Nola, Trinity, Jossie, and Rachel went out and brought you this exclusive tour.
Thanks, Jacob. Like he said, we got an exclusive tour, so without further ado, let's get into it.
As we enter City Hall, you will find offices, boardrooms, and lots of storage. The fire station has more to it than you would think, including their own personal gym, a kitchen equipped with recliners, and bedrooms for the overnight crew. They even have a bronze pole that costs more than you may think.
Located in the garage, you will find a hose and uniform dryer. Fun fact, firefighters have to use steam showers in order to efficiently cleanse themselves.
Dang, that tour was fire.
Seriously, don't joke about that.
Sorry.
Now back to the studio.
Thanks, guys.
Goodness, was that sweet. We're honestly long overdue for a new station, and I'm just glad it turned out so well.
No, agreed, totally. And some school news, the show choir team began their touring of Minnesota earlier this year. Tabby, Haley, Maddox, Abraham, along with Nuzette, went out and brought you some interviews regarding the season thus far.
What's going on, Saints? We're here this week to bring you the scoop on this year's
So show choir is a performance-based ensemble where we do singing pop music, rock music, any sort of kind of modern music that you'd like, and it's put into one set, and we add dancing and theatrical sets behind it, and we go and compete against people who are also in high school all over the Midwest. And I think this year we have a larger number. The set is very different. It's a little bit darker this year. We've got a really positive group, and I think we're going to do really well at competition, so I'm really excited.
My favorite part of show choir is probably learning the dances and choreography. I'd say the most challenging part of show choir is cleaning the dances after we've learned them.
My favorite part is my team, honestly. I love them all so much, and they're like a family to me. The most challenging part, I think, for our group is getting enough sound with our vocals and making sure our moves are all clean and together.
My favorite part of show choir is the dancing aspect. It's been really fun, especially with the choreo we have this year. We hit a lot of moves very hard, and it's been really fun to see people kind of take the choreo that we've gotten and make it their own. This year's theme is Nightmare, so we're all kind of like the boogeyman, and it's really fun.
That's all we have for you this week, Saints. Back to me.
Thanks, guys.
And while I'm sure you've noticed, the temperature has dropped a lot these past few weeks. It's getting cold out. This week, we sent some reporters out to inform you of the thickness of the ice and the coming weather. They're on now.
Hey Saints, I'm Log.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Grady.
And I'm Keck.
We're back this week giving you an ice update and giving you this week's weather.
First lake we're at here is Lake George. We got 12 inches out here. Good to drive a car.
Alright Saints, now we're back out here at Norris. Got 12 inches. You're good to drive a car. Alright, we're out at Lake Francis again. See how much ice. Got about 12 inches. You're good to drive a car.
We're out here on Long Lake. Let's see how much ice we got here. We're looking at about 11 inches. I'd be careful if you were driving.
Now for this week's weather.
Today's weather, we got a high of 7 and a low of -7.
For Wednesday, we got a high of 24 and a low of -2.
For Thursday and Friday, they're both going to be cloudy. You got a high of 37 and a low of 24 on Thursday. And on Friday, you got a high of 34 and a low of 24.
Saturday is going to be cloudy with a high of 26 and a low of 4. And on Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 4 and a low of -8.
Hey Saints, it's real cold outside.
That's why we're sitting in the truck. That's all we got for you this week, Saints.
Now back to the studio.
Appreciate it, boys.
And with all this cold weather, it brings about this week's trivia. This week we're going to ask you, what is the coldest state in the United States?
Is it A, Alaska, B, Minnesota, C, Alabama, or D, Wisconsin?
Drumroll please. The answer is A, Alaska, which averages temperatures of 28.3 degrees. God, that sounds miserable. But with that,
We'll send it over to sports.
What's up, Saints? I'm Will. And I'm Mike. And this is Sports.
SFHS! Go Saints!
In local sports news, we just have a recap of how our sports teams have been playing so far.
The boys hockey team is 4-10 with some recent success over break.
The girls hockey team is 5-7, also with some recent success.
The gymnastics squad has not been finding it so far with a record at 1-6. Owen and Quinn went out and grabbed a scoop on some gymnasts.
How long have you been in gymnastics, and why did you decide to start?
This is my 6th year in the high school gymnastics team and my 3rd year as a captain, and I was just put into it at a really young age.
How has the season been going so far?
It's been good. We've been dealing with a lot of injuries while already having a smaller team, so that's been pretty hard, but overall it's been fun.
What is your role like as a captain?
Trying to help the younger girls feel more welcomed on the team while trying to push everyone.
How many more meets do you have left, and how are you kind of hoping to finish the season off?
We have 6 more meets left, and I'm hoping to get a couple more upgrades in and just finish off the season strong.
The girls basketball team was a solid 8-5 after a recent win over Corey, winning 44-41 in the close back-and-forth game.
And the boys basketball team is struggling a tad with a 1-8 record and a recent tough loss against Ricori, losing 60-24 in a tough game.
Yeah, that was a tough loss, but not as bad as this loss, because in this week's sports trivia, we ask you, what is the biggest point deficit in NBA history?
Is it A, 103, B, 65, C, 87, or D, 73?
Drumroll please. The answer is D. In an absolute massacre of a game, the Memphis Grizzlies obliterated the Oklahoma City Thunder on December 2nd, 2021, with an absolute crazy score of 79-152.
Yeah, that's just absolute insanity.
And that's all the sports news we have for you this week, Saints.
Now back to Maine.
Thanks, boys.
And a couple more things before we introduce this week's RQT. Class shirt date is Friday, January 17th, where all students are encouraged to wear their class shirts. In fact, the first 15 students to wear their class shirt to the deck dugout will receive a free slushie.
Not bad. SFHS is also hosting a shoe drive. If you or anyone you know has a pair of shoes that just don't fit anymore, or you have no intentions of wearing them, feel free to drop them off at the main office.
I have so much shoes that I don't wear. I don't know what to do with them.
Well, we can take them to the shoe drive.
The shoe drive is for a fundraiser for the high school senior all-night party, and they are taking shoes of any kind, adult, kid, flip-flops, athletic shoes, and they are going to then go sell them to raise money for the all-night party. It just started today, so you can start donating as of today, and we don't have a set end time yet. And if students want to donate, they just come into the main office and put them right in the shoebox over here. So they should be gently used or new. The fundraiser is being run by the parents and the students for the senior class.
Yes! And back to Maine!
Without further ado, Caden, Gavin, Owen, and Danielle went out to bring you this week's
RQT.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
I see myself in 10 years.
Probably be working at a business.
Becoming an undercover detective.
Probably being a sports broadcaster.
I plan on working in the cities for a union.
Hopefully out of college.
Probably on the World Poker Tour.
I'm hopefully married with a family.
For any team like NFL, NHL, anything like that.
Being a large animal vet in Wyoming.
Probably being an electrician.
I have a job.
Gambling my life away.
And coaching youth wrestling.
But we'll see.
It's actually not a bad question. Jacob, Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
You know, with the past I have, probably gonna end up in a wheelchair after a knee surgery.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness.
But with that, we will see you next week. Stay safe, Saints.